Traditional worship devotees repossess Alaafin'S body after Islamic rites. Welcome to the news and thank you for tuning in to listen. Shango devotees have taken custody of the remains of the Alaafin of Oyo Obalamidi Adeyemi for apparent continuation of traditional rites after Islamic prayers were performed on the body. The chief imam of Oyo, Masood Adebayo, earlier this afternoon led Muslims to perform janazah funeral prayers before interment on the body of Alaafin inside the palace. But Shango devotees were later seen carrying the remains from Odearo part of the palace into the Oba Adeyemi the third hall, where they initially covered the sleeping monarch with a mat before forming a circle around the remains. But they later asked mourners and journalists to leave the hall. As the remains were carried, the devotees chanted delegates and eulogies of Sango, whom an Alaafin embodies according to Yoruba mythology. The Alaafin passed late last night in Ado-Ekiti, the Ekiti state capital, where he sought treatment for a yet undisclosed ailment. His remains were brought to Oyo town in the early hours of Saturday, with traditional burial rites commencing immediately before the remains were handed over to the Muslims for prayers. Okay, I think there is nothing to be confused about. This is because Alaafin Oyo, he was a traditional ruler. He was. And as that, they would want to come and do whatever they want to do. I don't think if he was not a traditionalist, Shango would come. Those Shango devotees, they won't come if they're not invited. But because this man was clearly a devotee, so they have to come and do. The most important thing is this man has died. He has died. There is nothing that can be done to bring him back. But I never knew he was sick. This is the first time, they're coming out to tell us that he was actually suffering from any ailment. Okay, when somebody was describing this particular situation to me, the person like, that's Oba that likes to marry young girls. Marry them plenty. He has married young girls, how many? And yet he's not satisfied. He has died. And I was like, which Oba? The way the description came, as in the way the person described him was like, I don't know. So this one is not a big deal. Like I said, this particular man is a traditionalist. He's a traditionalist because he's actually still sitting on that particular seat. Maybe he was once upon a time he gave attention to the traditional aspect of his seat, just maybe. But he's a Muslim, and the most important thing is the Muslim, they have done theirs and they will do. The most important thing is the burial should go on, and of course he should be laid to rest. Everyone that died deserves to be laid to rest, and so that the person can rest peacefully. Our thoughts and prayers are with the people of your state, and we're asking that this void that has been created by the passing of the Alaafin is filled, and of course that God give the family the fortitude to bear the loss. Okay, about him, I think the Alaafin of Oyo. The Alaafin of Oyo, I'm trying to recall who visited him recently. I think he was visited recently, right? But the person never told us it was anyway. But the person never told us, so the person, is possible that the person never even had an idea that he was actually ill. Okay. On this particular Islamic rite, when it comes to burial, let me drift a little. When it comes to burying people now, Islamic people, they're one of the people that they respect this, you come with nothing, you go with nothing. They don't even keep you, when somebody just died, they're like, the person is gone and gone. They put the person, they do whatever they have to do. The prayers follows almost immediately. The person is placed, if there's possibility, the person will get whatever it's been, if it's a casket, it's a coffin, you get the person in there. And voila, Unlike some traditions I know in Nigeria here, where you have to keep, when somebody dies, necessarily. That's Christianity now. Okay, yes, you have to go and keep them for some time somewhere, inform the people. Then one of two things are done, a lot of going up and down and going up and down. And before you know it, months have gone into, weeks have gone into months and months, if care is not taken. Some even keep theirs for a year, And I'm asking now, what is the joy of keeping someone up to a year? The person is not alive. And then, later, at the end of the day, the person will still be put underneath the floor. What is the joy? What exactly the tradition? Because I think I was discussing with somebody and was like, somebody will die and, people will keep the person's body, and the person will even some will keep the person's body for a very long time. Then you see people gathering, to celebrate the person's passing, and money is being spent. And I think I was talking to someone and the person was telling me that that's kind of a tradition that is not right. And I'm telling the person that me too, I don't think it is right. First of all, a family loses a loved one and they're mourning the loss of their loved one, and then they have to perform some rites that is going to squeeze out of them the person that they lost. Maybe, let's say for instance, peradventure, God forbid, but the person maybe be the breadwinner of the family. Maybe it's a problem, there is big problem. So me and the person were discussing, and I was like, why even do we have even such tradition? Somebody that have died. I mean, the person should just, the best way is, put the person on the floor. You've said your prayers as a Christian or as a Muslim, but just put the person on the floor and let things go. But no, some traditions you have to come out. In fact, the family that lost someone, it will even lose more. The people will spend a whole lot. They will spend a whole lot preparing for this particular occasion now. Should I say occasion or burial? In my own opinion, whatever you want to do for a person, should be done when the person is alive. Just like the Alaafin'S now that died, he's no longer aware of whatever is going on around him. Even if they decide to buy him a casket that is 1 million or 2 million or 5 million, the thing is he has died and he's gone, and he's not going to wake up and say, this thing is small. So it's just the kind of, we just discussed a little on, traditions surrounding burials, why families will be mourning, and at the same time we're also losing their money due to, some rights as well. Okay, on this note, we have come to the end of the news. To say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.